They call this place the last great Coliseum for a reason. It is home to some of the most exciting races in the NASCAR Cup Series, and today it's going to play host to yet another thriller, this time for the Speed Cup Series on Thursday nights. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Ola Brampo, bringing you all of racing action from start to finish on this absolutely stellar Thursday afternoon. It's going to be a wild one. Only 3 races to go in the regular series season before we'll get set to duke it out for a championship, for the chase for the cup in the Speed Cup Series. As you can see, we'll be kicking it off, of course, at Bristol, followed up by Kansas. The Circuit Gilles Villeneuve will play host to the final race of the regular series season. Talladega, while not shown on this outdated graphic, Talladega will be the first chase race that we'll be having over the course of the season with the 8 races that we've got left on the docket. So let's talk then about the championship order. We're, of course, looking for the top 10 drivers, and right now it is still nice and tight down for that final bump spot. Only 1 point separates Mark McFadden and Joey Barrett for that absolutely critical final spot. 4 points out is Stan Hausman, and 8 points out you'll find Jason Gracias and Ben Mashburn. So still a lot of drivers with some good opportunities here to try to get themselves into good contention this afternoon. Brandon Fetterplace, after having such a strong start to his season, he has unfortunately been forced to effectively retire from full-time competition. That's why you see him all the way down to the number 15 spot. Not an ideal run for Ben Mashburn, you know, for Brandon Fetterplace. And you know for a fact that he is going to be very disappointed with that run. And we are hoping that we're going to see him back in full force next season whenever we go racing again for the Speed Cup Series. Let's ride aboard Jason Shue. He'll take you for a couple laps around the Bristol Motor Speedway, and this will really show just how difficult of a racetrack this is, because it is not for the faint of heart. Let me tell you what. Shue will cross over the start-finish line this time by his first lap. Good enough for the 16th spot. Only a 14.7 second lap time, but that still only gets him into the bottom half of the field. Off of turn number 4 this time by. He'll cross the start-finish line, and his second lap will be good enough for the number 10 spot. So the driver at Littlestown, Pennsylvania, having a good back effort of his qualifying session, but still trying to find himself with some extra momentum. Jason Taylor, one such driver that could find some extra speed here as well in that number 41 entry. Now, critically this afternoon, we're using single pit roads on iRacing. So that's gonna be that's gonna be absolutely big, right? We have 2 pit roads active this afternoon. If you want to come down for green flag pit stops, you're going to be pitting in, entering turn 2, and you're going to leave it entering turn 1. So there is, it's going to be a bit of a wild one for these guys this afternoon. Almost drivers hoping that they don't get green flag pit stops, because if they do, they are practically guaranteed to be going down. At least 2 laps, possibly 3 or more. If you come down to pit road and a caution comes out, you are screwed effectively. So it's going to be it's going to be a wild show this afternoon for sure. Jason Taylor goes 14th quick on the boards, and he will just have enough time to get in his second lap. And for the Black Flag Motorsports driver of Jason Taylor, he'll cross the start-finish line. Lap number 2 puts him to 10th. Well, we're going to get ourselves sorted up here for racing action on a Thursday afternoon. Let's take a rundown of what that starting grid is going to look like as we line them up and ready to do battle once again for the last great Coliseum. The first of 27 gladiators is DSR's Bobby Anderson alongside Interstellar SRV's Matt Schlosser, jumping over from full-time running the Nasa Road to run full-time at the Thursday Night Speed Cup Series. Making his debut just a couple weeks ago. Sean Bounty starts in 3rd for Rebel Racing alongside Christopher Darley in 4th, but Nazi Majors in 5th with Jason Gracias down in 6th. Josh McDougall is 7th with Ryan Shelton back in the number 8 spot. It is, of course, going to be Josiah Vincent and Jason Taylor to round out the top 10. Continuing on down through the rest of the field this afternoon, we're going to have Jason Shute 11th, Nate Cotilla at 12th, Devin Pirog is 13th with Joey Barrett for Vincent Motorsports in 14th. It's Ethan Amberg in the number 15 spot alongside Stan Hausman in 16th. Garrett Austin is back in the 17th position for the Gold Octopus Motorsports alongside Spider Motorsports' Scott Leonard. Matt Allen for Island Motorsports brings it up in the number 19 spot, and Mark McFadden, the birthday man, celebrating number 76 this afternoon. He'll be starting down in the final spot in 20th for the top 20. We'll move down to Ben Mashburn, of course, running 21st alongside Carlton Charles at 22nd. Charles was the last driver to put down a lap. From there, it's Stephen Kirby, Thomas Amasi, Cedarius Days, Tim Branson, and Ryan Newman. No, not the Ryan Newman, another Ryan Newman, who will be finishing out the 27-car field. So drivers rolling around Bristol Motor Speedway. 1 lap to go before we'll get set for green flag running this afternoon. Bobby Anderson with another phenomenal qualifying effort, but the question is, will this one net him a race win? So far, Bobby Anderson is winless, and he's got a good chance to try and get him some of the good shots this afternoon. Sorry, no, he does have 2 wins on the season. God, he's listed as Robert Anderson on the official timing charts. He won at Michigan and at Darlington. And he started on pole when he won at Darlington as well. And Michigan had started all the way back in 30th. So Bobby Anderson will be looking for big things this afternoon. He's got to fend off a lot of drivers that are very, very good at Bristol. We're happy as always that you're joining us here on a beautiful Thursday night for the last great Coliseum. It's go, go, go! Anderson pulling clear in the early running of this one, while Matt Schlosser trying to pick up the number 2 spot behind. He's going to get around Sean Bounty successfully. So it's Schlosser leading the way from Sean Bounty with Bobby Anderson at the very head of this field. Everyone else packed up single file throughout most of this pack. Jason Gracias trying to keep Ryan Shelton at bay. While further behind them, Josiah Vincent looking to the inside of Jason Taylor. Vincent couldn't make the look in the Bass Pro Shops track boats number 4. He's still going to try to get around that United Rentals Mustang up the field. This the battle for the number 9 spot. Vincent drives it in deep down low, but Jason Taylor getting another run off of turn number 4. It's not enough to hang on. So Vincent picks up the 9th spot in the early running. Way in the back, Ben Mashburn holding up a train of them. Mark McFadden in the mix here, Carlton Charles Amasi, Newman, Branson, Kirby, Days all in the line, and one car way down low on the inside of the front straightaway. That was Scott Leonard that was breaking out the tail end and nearly going around. Up the road, Minazzi Major ducks around. Christopher Darling, just picks off the number 4 spot. Jason Gracias looking down low. He's going to try to get around the number 11 as well. Christopher Darling still holds on from the top shelf. Gracias driving it in deep on the bottom side of the racetrack. Can't get the move done. Darling hangs on for a top 5. From there, it's Cotilla and Taylor that are looking to go at it side by side. They're fighting for 11th. With the Highline Motorsports, number 11, hanging on for the Black Flag Motorsports, number 41. Josh McDougall, Josiah Vincent, and more, all in a thick battle pack here. As we work off the top shelf of turn numbers 1 and 2, down into 3 and 4. Devin Pirog almost catches the wall. Vincent still trying to work on McDougall, not going to happen. Further in the back, Joey Barrett pulling clear from Ethan Amberg, and now Vincent right back to the bottom, not willing to give this spot up. On board is Devin Pirog and Vincent, way loose out of turn number 4. Pirog able to mount a charge. He'll try to go around the outside. Vincent keeps it pinned down on the low side. Devin Pirog working the top shelf off of turn number 4. And Pirog makes the move up to the number 1 spot. Further behind, Mark McFadden and Carlton Charles going side by side. Ryan Newman in the mix, going to get through as well. Behind them, you got Tim Branson and Amasi, with Amasi now stepping out the back end, and Amasi will drop all the way down. Stone dead last in this field for the 05. Obanasi Major mounts a charge on Christopher Darling. This puts him up to 4th. Darling drives it in around the outside. He'll re-secure the 4th place spot. Darling right now on the move, but Sean Bounty currently running in 3rd. 1.8 seconds off of the top 2 that are on a serious breakaway up the field. Ryan Shelton, haven't touched on him much today. He's trying to fight to the inside of the defending champion Jason Gracias off of turn 4 down the front stretch. Couldn't get the move done. But he's going to look to drive back around and down the back chute and into turn 3. Garcia still hanging on. So difficult to pass at Bristol Motor Speedway. Makes these side-by-side battles so thrilling to watch. You just saw Ethan Amberg pick off Joey Barrett. The inside line showing surprising mettle so far. If you can stuff it in deep enough, usually it's around the outside that you need to get a handle on if you want to make a move. Not so this afternoon. Josiah Vincent holding the inside. Devin Pirog able to get a run going on Josh McDougall as he tries to make this lunge down the back chute and into turn 3. Still not a lot of dice so far for Pirog. And now Joey Barrett looking like he may have just caught the outside wall coming off of 2 there. The 41 of Garrett, the 430 of Garrett Austin. Blitzing by the lot of them. So Garrett Austin up 4 positions within the first 10th or so of this race. While further behind, Matt Allen trying to have a lunge on Joey Barrett, but that was nothing doing. Oh boy, further the tail. We got problems down into turn 2, looking for a bit of 3 wide. Cedarius Day, Scott Leonard, and more. Oh, and into the outside wall, right in front of the race leader. Bobby Anderson trying to slice his way through. Anderson's gonna make it happen. What the heck happened here? A lot of physicality going on. Looking like the 109 got into the side of the 19. That was Kirby into Leonard. The 12 of Days is checking them all up, and then, oh boy, the 12 got hooked sideways into the wall, and that put the 19 up into the fence. Close calls indeed, and now battles on for second. Schlosser got really checked up from all of this. And Schlosser is struggling to try to find a way to get to the point. Sean Bounty driving it in for 3rd. Darling runs in 4th. Jason Garcias, Ryan Shelton. Still going side by side. Shelton's around into the inside wall. Big hit on the back straightaway. Caution's out for the first time tonight. First yellow flag on lap number 30. And that one comes from just a wrong place, wrong time incident, it looked like, on the back chute there. We'll try to get a look on on what happened here with this one. He just drifted up, and that's a pretty significant hit into the inside wall. He slid to the bottom side, tried to keep it out of the rest of the field. That's speed. Yeah, just drifted up too aggressively, chasing the number one. Few takers into pit road, among them Christopher Darley, Jason Taylor, Shu, Shelton, Mashburn. Tim Branton as well, all coming in for service. So about 6 cars or so coming down and into pit road. Want to real quick thank some of the folks that keep the lights on at the Speed Cup Series. Tonight's race brought to you by Brookstone Animal Hospital. Brookstone Animal Hospital is a AAHA accredited full-service veterinary, medical, boarding, and grooming facility serving Metro Atlanta, with a mission to provide modern and up-to-date medicine while also tailoring care to the health and well-being of all animals. Visit brookstonevet.com to schedule your appointment today. And by Beer Street Journal, one of the largest online collections of original content dedicated to covering beer culture, education, and the advancement of the beer industry. With thousands of articles and millions of unique visitors and exposure to over 200 countries, Beer Street Journal is paving the way to enabling category growth, engage the broader consumer base, and promoting better tasting beer for years to come. BeerStreetJournal.com, the best in beer. Other sponsors of the Speed Cup Series include Twisted Steel Steak Appeal, SimWrap Market, SimWrap Guy, and Tires Plus Total Car Care. So working caution flag number 1 this afternoon, and this first yellow flag for the newcomers coming into this one. It comes out after this incident from Ryan Shelton that finds him facing the wrong way. Battling with Jason Gracias for the 5th place spot, and just hip checks the number 1 and noses it hard into the inside wall. Lights will go out. Bobby Anderson opting for the outside line for the restart. I'm not surprised with this. The outside line, so often the best defensive line at this racetrack. So obviously the line that he's going to want for a restart at a track this volatile. We went a good 30 laps before we got our first yellow flag. Will we repeat that this afternoon? That's the big ticket question. A lot of Toyotas up in the top 10 as well. You've got 5, half the top 10 with Toyotas, with Chevys running 2nd and 3rd. Green flag's out, we're back underway. So Anderson pulling clear, Minotzi Major getting around Sean Bounty and Matt Schlosser. Matt Schlosser is dropping like a stone right now off the jump. Devin Purog gets through. Schlosser will finally manage to stop the bleeding around 5th place where he can get in line. Same for Jason Gracias, who lost quite a bit off that restart. Josiah Vincent not looking to be deterred. He's making the look for 8th. Battling with Ethan Amber. That inside line's worked for the number 4 car quite a bit so far tonight. I'm just not confident it's going to keep working for him as we get deeper and deeper into this race. And that outer lane gets more rubbered in. Amberg up to the top shelf. Vincent hanging on down low. Matt Schlosser thinking about a lug to get around Devin Purog. Amberg still getting the nose in there. And how about Josiah Vincent still hanging on down low? Schlosser driving it in deep on the inside. Purog just able to hang on. Schlosser still holding on for the inside. Further behind, Vincent and Gracia still going at it. Non-stop dogfighting within the top 10. We're a 5th of the way through. Boy, the racing is never one to disappoint at Bristol. How about Garrett Austin punching his ticket into the top 10? The driver of the number 430 has been on a tear so far tonight, and he now fights his way all the way up to 9th. Now looking for 8th as he goes around the outside of Jason Taylor. Caution flag is out, and we'll slow it down again. This one brought out by Carlton Charles on the front stretch. We got another problem. Jason Shue is around, and Ryan Shelton is out. We'll start what happened to Carlton Charles. We'll start with the easy one here. Charles, he's alongside with the 85 of Ryan Newman, and just 2 lines coming together, a bit of net code as well, and that's going to spin the 27 out. Puts the 27 car down and into the inside wall, and then up in a turn. Oh, Shue got loose and got turned across the nose of Branson, up into Ryan Shelton. That puts the 99 hard into the wall and effectively out of this race. So Shelton, the first driver marked as a DNF this afternoon. I promise you, that is not a light impact for Ryan Shelton. Let's ride on board with him. Did a good job to keep it up against the outside wall, but here we go. Pit stops underway for pretty much everybody else that didn't come down under that first yellow flag. So a mass exodus of cars at the pit road. Sean Boundy, Tom Rossi, Scott Leonard all staying out. They are the only drivers now not to come down to pit road. So caution's out for the second time tonight. We'll take a step back. We return. It's more action on Green Flag TV.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Green Flag TV. We are just ready to get this show back on the road as we are moments away from going back to Green Flag racing at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Sean Boundy with the race lead. He opts for the outside line for the restart. Scott Leonard back at the number 6 spot now. Boundy on 30-lap older tires and the 3 cars behind him, and 50-lap older tires, well, almost 50-lap older tires than pretty much everybody else behind. Green flag's up in the air. We are back to it. We'll see if Boundy can hang on while they stack him up. Coming down to turn number 1. 4 cars are laps down. Jason Shue, Mark McFadden, Carlton Charles, and Ryan Shelton, while the rest of the field looking to go double file, and the caution is out quickly on that one. Did not make it a lap, and that is Stephen Kirby facing the wrong way. Cutting back, see what happened here to Kirby as he just, well, Garcias comes off the wall a bit. Right as Kirby was drifting up and just goes into the outside fence and nowhere for Carlton Charles to go. Mercedes didn't get loose. That's just clumsy, it looked like. It's right on board here with Garcias and what he saw. He was trying to turn it out. I wonder if he just got some target fixation going. And, oh, man, Carl DeCharles was alongside with McFadden there, so he didn't have a whole lot where he could go either. Watch this here. He's going to get a good run on McFadden. Try to go around the outside. He's got no idea what's happening, and all of a sudden, hello, and he just gets bodied up and into curbing. No fault of either driver there. That's just a classic Bristol event there that caused Carl DeCharles to get involved. I mean, everything at this racetrack happens so fast. It makes it really difficult to sometimes gauge where your car is at and what's going on around you. You really have got to, man, you got to really look to make some moves quickly on this one. Let's see if we can't get a quick chit chat in here with one of the drivers currently running in the midst of this pack. We'll see if we can't dial up Garrett Austin. Garrett, this is Noel Rebel here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, you do.
Well, it's been a good run for you so far this afternoon. You're up 8 positions, and you had a strong run on that second run before we got yellow flag number 2. How's your night looking for you so far?
Doing pretty good. I did a lot of practice this week, so feeling pretty comfortable here. Just hoping to stay out of the back because, you know, when you race with the squirrels, you know what happens. So, but yeah, feeling pretty good right now.
Long-term strategy, do you have plans for this race going green, or are you expecting this to be more yellow-filled from here on out?
I expect a lot more yellows going forward.
Well, we'll see. Yellow flags, they've helped you so far. You're into the top 10. We'll see if you can maintain that run throughout the night. Good luck.
All right, thanks.
Garrett Austin for the Gold Octopus Motorsports, currently running out of Springfield, Tennessee. So hometown hero this afternoon for Garrett Austin. Looking to see what he can do. We'll go 1 to green, and we're over a quarter of the way through. Once again, Sean Bounty opting for the outside. I'd be more surprised if anybody picked the inside line tonight. iRacing pace cars into pit road. We enter the Guy Carrizo zone. Green flags out. We're back to it. Battling through into turn numbers 3 and 4. Bounty again lead to the first lap. Ben Mashwood trying to go top to bottom on Christopher Darling. Can't make the move. But he was certainly trying to get down there. So we'll check back in on Amberg and Pirog now. Making some more ground. Oh boy, they both stepped the tail end out as they work off of turn number 4 down the front stretch. Garrett Austin still trying to maintain that top 10 momentum. A lot of side-by-side action right now and all the fighting within the top 12 or so. Field started to spread out further back we go. Oh, trouble for Austin! Garrett Austin, right after we talked to him, has found the inside wall in the big way. Look at all the damage on the right front of the 430 machine. So something big happening there to Austin. We'll try to find out what. He's into pit road and effectively out of contention. Oh, he just bobbled loose and slammed into the inside wall. Did a great job, though, not to get that car back up into traffic. That could have, should have been worse than it ended up being. Bobby Anderson going in there, 2nd and 3rd. Josh McDougall fighting it out as well, trying to keep drivers like Manazzi Major and Ben Mashburn at bay. Darling has taken the race lead, and Bounty at this point, the cork in the bottle. Oh, Mashburn sideways. Turned down into the inside wall. Caution is out again for the 4th time. That's right in the middle of the track. That's not a good place to be stopped. Looking like the field will get around him. So problems again for Ben Mashburn as he comes off of turn number 4, and this looked like he may have had some help, and he did. Devin Puro getting into him. Jason Taylor finishing the job with nowhere to go. Hard lick into the inside wall. Sends the 23 for a high-speed spin. And he slides to a stop up in turn 3. I got a little loose. Can't put that all on Pirog. Bounty comes down to pit road for his first and what could very well be his only pit stop of the night. On board with Mashburn. It's a hard lick into the fence. And then with Taylor. And you'll see this 41 car just had nowhere to go. Puts under the yellow flag for the 4th time tonight. Over a quarter of the way in. We'll be back in a moment on Green Flag TV. Welcome back to Green Flag TV. About to go back to Green Flag Racing once again from Bristol Motor Speedway. Bobby Anderson at the head of the field. Christopher Darling alongside him starts on the outside. Green Flag once again. We are back to racing action from the last great Coliseum. A beautiful jump for the top 3 while nobody else got a good run. Bobby Anderson side by side with Darling for the lead. Anderson trying to take it back down low. Darling looking to get it around the top shelf, though. And the Season 1 champion drives around the outside. Is it enough to steal the move? Yes, it is. So Christopher Darling takes his one in. And will absolutely take that one in force from Bobby Anderson. Benazzi Major now runs in the number 2 spot. Looking for his outside. Anderson drives it in down low, but it looks like he won't be able to hang on to second. That outside lane coming into its own a lot more now. And still a lot of dogfighting as well for 4th on back. So Matt Schlosser now attacking Jason Taylor. Taylor looking to the inside. Matt Schlosser hangs on for 7th. All the way back through this field. You got battles picking up, including one between Sedarius Days, Jason Chu. You've got Garrett Austin still in the mix. Garrett Austin found himself into the inside wall. He was able to take that caution to get some damage repairs, but he has already gone 7 laps down and is effectively out of this race. He is just hoping for an opportunity to battle back later on. Right now, Mark McFadden stands in as the lone driver eligible for the Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award, but he's got to avoid being in the wreck himself if or when it comes in. And I say when because, hey, it's Bristol. We're not even halfway in. We've had 4 yellows already. We're not done wrecking. We're going to have some more before the end of this one. Stan Hauser on the move. He looks to the inside of Matt Allen. Nate Cotilla trying to mount a charge as well. Cotilla gets into the wall, though, as Joey Barrett drops back. Ethan Amberg in the mix as well, as again Cotilla finds the fence, but he is pushing that Omaha power machine like there's no tomorrow. And how about that? Cotilla bouncing off the wall, gets through to the number 11 spot. Good show there for Cotilla as he drives around him. Stan Hausen trying to fight it back down low. Just can't do much about it. What about Stan Hausman and Joey Barrett? Or sorry, Sean Bounty and Joey Barrett. Well, that's going to be decided quickly. Sean Bounty breezes past, says thank you very much. Bounty pitted on this last caution. So we had to start for the tail of the field, but he has been driving his way back up ever since. Battle is on for the lead. Minazzi Major with 14 lap fresher tires, then Darling trying to attack him for the bottom side, but that top lane still has a lot of momentum underneath it, and Darling nearly finds himself going the wrong direction. Minazzi Major going at it big time. Meanwhile, Pirog, Vincent looking to go side by side. Down in the turn number 2, down the back straightaway, into 3. Vincent hanging on, Devin Pirog tracking up for the outside. Nearly gets into the number 4. And he does get into the outside wall that time by. Here comes Schlosser to the bottom. Schlosser takes the spot away. Battles on between Major and Anderson. This is for number 2. Quite a few of these battle packs started to separate a little bit throughout this field. But man, oh man, there's a lot to be excited about this afternoon. You can see Jason Taylor and Devin Pirog still looking to go at it. The top 3 are now all under a blanket. Take a look at this grudge match as we approach the halfway point. Darling hanging on against the combined efforts of Bobby Anderson, Minazzi Major. Those efforts are being hampered by the beat side by side, but Bobby Anderson's got some more momentum underneath him. Anderson clears Major, now trying to clear Darling. Dead heat down the backstretch. Darling is so much better down the straights, but Bobby Anderson just has him beat in the quarters, and he should get him here in turn 1. There he goes. Anderson clears for the race lead. Christopher Darling not done fighting. He's not going to take that line down. Attacks down low. But as they catch Amasi, he is forced to back off. Now you've got Josh McDougall and Josiah Vincent going at it. We've also got a big heads-up battle further behind. This is our 10th back to 14th. Some serious battles going on deeper in the pack. Stan Hausman, oh boy, driving it in down low. Joey Barrett. Oh man, he just clears Pirog as Pirog gets into the fence. Had to hold my breath there for a moment. Wasn't sure if Cotilla was going to dump the 46 or not. 3 wide, and Cotilla goes up the middle to take 2 for 2. Boy, Pirog wasn't happy there, though. He almost got back to his back bumper. Take a ride on board with Pirog here for this one. Gets around him, and he gave him a little nudge. I think expressed some of that displeasure, just saying, hey, not cool, dude. Although now we started to drop back a lot with some of that heavy damage. Further up the road, Schlosser, Taylor, Amberg, Bounty under a blanket. McDougall is just up the road. This is for 5th through 9th. So much heads-up battles right now, and a lot of it can be attributed to all of this action that we've been seeing. Some of this lap traffic up the road. You got drivers, though, like Sean Bowden that are on some fresh rubber here, and that's also throwing some wrenches into the mix here. Bounty's doing his best to fight his way back to the point. He is up to the top 5 after restarting for the tail of the field. By the way, we're over halfway. Less than 100 laps to go from Bristol Motor Speedway. Christopher Darling trying to see if he can't hang on against Josiah Vincent. Josh McDougall, Ethan Amberg, and Matt Schlosser are all in a big line. And now McDougall off the top shelf, just barely hangs on. Ethan Amberg tracking down low. Scott Leonard comes to pit road. Sean Bounty getting around Darling. He's back to 3rd. Bounty is on the march right now, clawing his way for the tail of the lead lap all the way to the number 3 spot in a matter of about 50 laps. Oh man, they're getting so close to each other between Schlosser and McDougall coming off of turn number 4 every time. It makes me worry a little bit more. Sean Bounty trying to break clear, but not too major up the road. Oh, but McFadden's in the way, forces them 3 wide. Bounty had to back out for a moment there. Major driving around the top, Bounty down to the inside. Bounty secures the spot. So Sean Bounty, the number 2, now has the long trip trying to hunt down a 5-second deficit up to Bobby Anderson. Further behind, drivers like Joey Barrett and Matt Allen are going at it. Josh McDougall and Jason Taylor also in the mix as Taylor trying to drive it in deep around the outside of McDougall. Oh, now 3 wide with the 85. Somehow they get around that with no contact. Oh, now they're going to make contact, though, and Josh McDougall ping-pongs off the door of Jason Taylor. Able to hang on, and now that takes us back to the fight between McDougall and Schlosser. These 2 drivers have not been able to get away from each other. And just a little ways behind, a lot of lap traffic causing problems. Around goes the 19. Problems for Scott Leonard as he faces the inside wall. And caution number 5 comes out. Sooner or later, when you get that much lap traffic, you're going to roll snake eyes. And unfortunately, Scott Leonard was the driver that had that go down the wrong way. Mark McFadden slow in front. Just trying to stay out of the way. Goes up to the middle line, but he's got... Oh, man, Scott Leonard just came up from the bottom and then gets hooked by Matt Allen to finish the job. Backs it into the inside wall. Tough break for that Mustang. Take another look at speed. Surprised, Frank, that wasn't bigger. Multiple drivers coming down to pit road, unsurprisingly so. We're going to take the chance to thank more of the drivers. More of the sponsors that keep the Speed Cup Series afloat. Tonight's race brought to you by Twisted Steel Steak Appeal. Twisted Steel Steak Appeal by Marty Flute has a solid punch of sweet and a heat flavor that lingers to let you know it's there. Marty Flute is an award-winning Steak Cook-Off Association SCA competition steak cook, and he has finally revealed his secret resting rub that'll blow you away with flavors. Steak veggies, fish, pork, and poultry. Twisted Steel Steak Appeal is a rub above the rest. And by Simrat Market. Simrat Market offers a variety of products, including number kits, overlays, vector smart templates, base designs, patterns, and track camera packages. Your one-stop shop for all of your iRacing graphic needs. And of course, by Tires Plus Total Car Care. From simple oil changes to brakes and alignments, Tires Plus has service that keeps you in the driver's seat. Other sponsors include Brookstone Animal Hospital and Beer Street Journal. Caution flag number 5. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Green Flag TV. About to go back to it with less than 100 laps to go from the last great Coliseum, working yellow number 5 this afternoon. Been having a good race so far. Lots of action that has kept this race on its toes. And there is so much more still yet to come. Pace cars into pit road, and Bobby Anderson takes us to the green flag. The only driver that did not pit, Jason Shue, to get himself back onto the lead lap. Anderson clears down to turn 1. Bounty and more tracking it out behind as they try to make the run through 3 and 4 to try to pick him off. But right now, Anderson pulling away with the lead. Whoa, around goes the 41 of Taylor, sliding to the inside, just keeps it off the inside wall. Close call there from the 41, he'll get it back underneath him. But a wild moment for Taylor coming off of turn number 4, right on board. Did a great job to keep that car off of the inside wall. That could have been a race ender. He'll recover and only drop back to 11. That's something he can easily recover at the end of this race if he plays his cards right. Meanwhile, Matt Schlosser, Christopher Darling, both behind Ethan Amberg Sean Bound to the fastest lap of the race, last time by a 14:37. Trying to see if he can run down your race leader, Bobby Anderson. He's not going to get there. Yellow flag is out. Troubles for Ryan Newman on the inside of the racetrack. And the Pennzoil 85 with some heavy damage on the nose of that car. Looking like this was all by himself, potentially. Yeah, it was. Just lost it off of turn 4, just like Jason Taylor, but he did find the inside wall. Slid back up into traffic, and oh, he tried to gas it up and went into the outside wall. Well, that's just clumsy from the 85, and that's not going to be one he's going to be wanting to relive anytime soon. That's an embarrassing mistake to make. Why you don't just pin the throttle at a track with as heavy banking as Bristol. Jason Shue did a pretty good job to avoid that. Let's ride on board here with Newman. Into the wall. Throttles it up. Back into the outside wall. Then, oh, Jason Shue just getting around that. So yet again, under the yellow flag. We'll try to see if we can't get in touch with another driver that's been having a half-decent race so far. And, well, let's see if perhaps Ethan Amberg is available to chat. Ethan, this is a little Rempel in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, it's not been a bad race for you. Up 11 positions, just a few shy of the Hard Charger Award. Kind of take us through your night so far and how you find yourself running in the top 5.
For now, just trying to keep the nose clean for the most part. Just save tires. That last long run we had came to us pretty well. We had pit and had 12 to 15 lap newer tires than some of the guys up front. They started coming back to us on the long run, so we're going to try to do the same thing here.
Had a few incidents tonight where cautions have tended to breed cautions, and this looks like it might end up being one of those strings, especially since we're in the second half. Do you have a fallback plan if this long run doesn't come your way?
Just going to have to rely on pace then. All these guys up here have been pretty fast, so it's going to be a matter of putting the foot on the floorboard and making the right moves and seeing how it goes.
All right, we wish you the best of luck. Good luck out there.
Thank you, Nolan.
Ethan Amberg, the Highline Motorsports driver to Dublin, Ohio, currently runs 4th after he started his race back in 15th earlier today. The hard charge of the afternoon goes the way of Tim Branson. He is up 14 positions after he started all the way back at the very bottom of the field, down in 26th. He did not put down a qualifying lap. We're going to go green this time by, with 71 laps on the docket. Pace car's off, green flag's out. We're back to it. Overall, the field making a good drive. Coming around through turn numbers 1 and 2, down the back straightaway. Bobby Anderson still with the lead. Sean Bounty, though, he's made it very, very clear that he wants to fight for this spot. And he's going to do whatever he has to try and make it happen. Sean Bounty still tracked at the back end, but so far not able to mount an offensive on the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes number 5 Camry. Deeper in the field, Stanhausen and Jason Taylor going at it. They're fighting for 10th. Oh, Shelton loose off of turn number 4. Jason Taylor just hangs on. How about Nate Cotilla trying to get a run going? Cotilla driving it in deep. Stanhausen makes the move. Off the road, Christopher Darley, Minazzi Major, Matt Schlosser all under a blanket. Can Darling try to see if anybody can get it in? Matt Schlosser almost into the outside fence. Really pushing for it big time coming out of turn number 4. Josiah Vincent still hanging on down low. Amberg, meanwhile, is up to 3rd. Tell you what, we've had a lot of great racing so far this afternoon, and I don't think there's anything that folks can be too disappointed about. Ethan Amber trying to see if he can get a run going with Manatsi Major. Major still trying to go on the offensive here, but Amberg playing a strong defense right now, making it difficult for Major to get it in. Further down, Jason Taylor trying to attack Matt Allen, although there wasn't too much room up there. Amberg, Major, Schlosser, Darling, Vincent, McDougall still in the thick battle pack of their own. As once again, Jason Taylor attacks Matt Allen trying to get the spot, but Allen again able to drive it in around the outside. Tim Branson with some technical problems behind. Sorry, don't let Stan Hausman with those technical issues behind. His car pops back into existence, this time with all fenders and all wheels fully attached to the race car. 60 laps, under 60 laps to go. Looking like this is going to be another one of those more extended green flag runs. Oh, into the wall goes Cotilla. Cotilla gets into off of turn number 4, driving around the outside of Taylor. Can the 13 look to make a move? The 41, seeing what he's got on offer for the field tonight. Cotilla able to hang on. Jason Taylor dropping back to 11th. Man, oh man, what a good race we're having here this afternoon. 55 laps to go at the line. Again, Cotilla into the fence as he tries to keep Jason Taylor behind him. He is trying to ride that wall as much as this sim will allow to try to stay in front of the 41. It is desperation. You can see that right front has seen better days. He's in it again, and this time it's enough for Taylor to get through. Now, what can Vincent do as he tries to attack Josh McDougall to turn 1? Overall, the field showing no concern over their tires. They are only folks who are trying to get around each other first and foremost. Even deeper in the pack with Branson, Charles, and Jason Shu, you've still got some heads-up battles. And then don't forget Sean Boundy doing a great job of keeping Bobby Anderson honest, and they're starting to catch some lap traffic. So Sean Boundy can smell some blood in the water here. And he is not going to look to give up on this battle for the lead until he gets to the checkered flag. Matt Allen and Jason Taylor going at it. Allen gets into the outside wall. Taylor takes it down low. While further up the field, the 19 throwing his hat into the ring. What about Joey Barrett and Stan Housen? What do they have for one another? Stan Hausman drives it in down low. Nate Cotilla trying to hang on, but Stan Hausman not about to be denied. Cotilla still hanging on for the top shelf. Stan Hausman hogging that inside lane to make something happen. So much going on at this racetrack right now. And Stan Hausman dropping back, it looks like, for a little bit. Max lost Minazzi Major going side by side as they fight it down to turn number 1. Battle is on for 4th. And Major pulls clear from the top shelf. Still Vincent and McDougall can't get away from one another. I think drivers like Schlosser and McDougall are getting fed up. They're like, leave me alone. I just want to run my race. And yet these guys are throwing in moves wherever they can stick a nose in. Oh, watch the wall. Major gets into it, and Schlosser takes it to the inside. Schlosser saw the opportunity and pounces down low. Minazzi Major hanging on for the top shelf for now, but Schlosser's going to pick him off in 4. Now Christopher Darling goes down to the inside. Darling trying to secure a top 5. He is not mathematically safe into the chase yet, and he's trying to get whatever points he can muster to make it so. And convincing get clear. McDougall, no, not yet! McDougall still drives it in from the high side. No matter what Vincent tries, McDougall's got an answer for him. The outside line with that 45 has been so powerful all day, nobody's been able to get around him. Vincent's been trying to go at it here, looking to go side by side for about the 15th lap in a row, and hasn't been able to do anything about it. Deeper in the field, the 43 and the 127. Looking tight as well, that's Joey Barrett and Matt Allen. Whoa, and Vincent loose. Vincent into the wall, and I think that finally closes the battle off. What the heck happened here? Oh, Taylor stuffed it in and just turned him. Nothing Josiah Vincent did wrong there. And so off his game, he's now put on defense from Joey Barrett. Carlton Charles will look to take his machine down to pit road. Meanwhile, Jason Shue and Tim Branson looking like they want to go side by side. Branson looking low. Shue getting in there around the top. Can he hang on? I think maybe. Oh, there's a lot of lap traffic up the road. He's getting into the wall. Charles fresh out of pit road. Tim Branson stuffs it in. The leader's into the wall. Bobby Anderson captures the wall in turn 3, put into it by a lap car. That's exactly what Sean Bounty's hoping to see. There's a lot of lap traffic ahead of Anderson to fight through. And if Bounty can play his cards right, he can easily get right back up there and start fighting for the win once again. Right now, he is 1.4 seconds out. We'll monitor progress closely. Josh McDougall and Jason Taylor going at it for the number 7 spot. We're always talking about the same drivers, but they just can't get away from each other. Trying to do absolutely everything that's possible for these guys to get an in. Minazzi Major, can he stuff it in down low? No, he cannot. Jason Taylor hangs on from the inside. Major not letting them take this spot easily. It's a repeat of the battle with Josh McDougall, and Jason Taylor finally makes it happen. And Joey Barrett squeezes by Josiah Vincent. Further down the field, how about Jason Shue on the move? He's going to get around Devin Pirog, who goes into the wall. And all of this, as Bobby Anderson has gotten clear of lap traffic, now it's Sean Bounty caught in the middle of the battle. So much going on here. We got a dogfight on for the 2nd spot. Under 30 to go. Amberg now trying to chase after Sean Bounty for 2nd. Sedarius Days comes down to pit road. He couldn't go the distance. How about Joey Barrett now taking the battle to Josh McDougall? Joey Barrett's picked up the pace a lot lately. He stuffed it in there and shoved his way by the 45. Just bullied McDougall out wide. Oh, and now McDougall gets back to him. Turns the 43 down to turn number 1. They'll save it somehow. Joey Barrett hangs on. McDougall's unhappy. Hits him again in 3. A wild save for the 43 car. He's going to hang on. Good God, what a fight. As Josh McDougall forcing the issue on Joey Barrett. Take it right on board here with Barrett. Watch this move here. Just got punted into turn number 1. Unfazed, kept it rolling. McDougall gave him a second tag going down to the turn 3. Was not happy about how physical the pass was. Tempers are starting to boil at Bristol. The Gladiators getting hot in the racing suit. McDougall catches the fence as he battles it out with Vincent. How about Tim Branson and Stan Hausman going at it? 20 laps to go. They're going at it right behind the battle for second. That's still nice and tight between Bowdy and Amberg, while Bobby Anderson pulls clear by now 3.5 seconds. So the battle's continuing to rage on as I give my voice a small little bit of reprieve. The fight for 5th is on between Christopher Darley and Jason Taylor. Boy, I mean, you want a good race at Bristol, you got a good race at Bristol. This has been a phenomenal drive all the way through tonight. And now Pirog catches the wall. He's just lost the right front fender. So the wheel completely exposed on the 36. Darling fights his way through. Here comes Taylor looking for the bottom lane. Pirog lets them both through. The battle for 5th still on as Taylor tries to get around the Season 1 champ. Overall, the fights started to break apart with only 12 laps to go. Man, I mean, this race, it has just been on fire all day today. Only 6 cars are left on the lead lap, by the way. But what fights we've been having over the last little while have been absolutely tremendous. One of the best Bristol races I've gotten to call in a good while. Pirog gets into the wall. Here comes McFadden. He's fighting it out with Thomas Amasi. And Amasi sits just behind. Well, McFadden trying to get around Pirog. Pirog's still with a lot of that damage. Remember, Pirog's on the lead lap, so McFadden's got to be careful here while he battles it out with the 05. Under 10 to go. Christopher Darling and Jason Taylor setting themselves up for some good momentum here. Further behind, Tim Branson and Josh McDougall now going side by side. Branson holds the bottom, while McDougall will go in the middle, and he tracks up from the inside. McDougall hangs on. Minazzi Major, Josiah Vincent still battling it out. The battle for second just got around them. Sean Bound and Ethan Amberg still going at it. Taylor and Darling are also battling it out side by side. 5 to go. A caution now forces overtime. Oh man, Darling off the top shelf of turn number 4. Now trying to hug it down low. Jason Taylor still hanging on. Going up almost into the outside wall. Darling trying to find some momentum. Meanwhile, Amberg looking to challenge for second. They have both continued to lose time to Sean Bounty. They've only got 2 laps to go. If Amberg wants second, he's going to have to take it pretty quickly here. White flag is in the air, this time by Minazzi Major to the back end of Josiah Vincent. While meanwhile, Anderson comes out of turn number 4. He's your race winner in commanding fashion. Pull to the win at Bristol. The fight for second is on, and Bounty hangs on as well. The fight for 8th goes down between Branson and Josiah Vincent. Boy, what a race this afternoon. That was nothing short of spectacular. A wild outing this afternoon, and Bobby Anderson can burn it down to the front straightaway, taking the win at the last great Coliseum. Boy, it was a good one this afternoon, and of course, we're going to get the chance now to come home and take a run through your official post-race results. After a wild one this afternoon, Bobby Anderson takes the win over Sean Boundy. Ethan Amber picks it up in 3rd with Matt Schlosser in 4th. Jason Taylor was 5th. Darling was 6th. Joey Barrett, Tim Branson, Josiah Vincent, and Minazzi Major round out the top 10 with only 6 cars finishing on the lead lap. Josh McDougall, Nate Cotilla, Jason Chu, Stan Housen, and Carl Charles bring it up through the top 15. The top 20 headed up by Matt Allen, Tom Amasi, Mark McFadden, Devin Pirog, and Garrett Austin. Scott Leonard, Ryan Newman, Darius Days, Ben Mashford, Stephen Kirby, Jason Garcia, and Ryan Shelton close out the field, with the bottom 5 drivers not finishing race in action this afternoon. It was a show for the ages this afternoon. We're going to get the chance to give a chit-chat here with all of the drivers that come home and finish this race up on the podium. We'll start it off first and foremost with none other than the driver to Mansfield himself, Sean Bounty. Bobby Anderson with one heck of a drive here this afternoon. Bobby, you had pole. You lost the lead relatively early in this race within the first half. You clawed your way back, though, and finished it up with the win by almost 5 seconds. Talk us through what was a wild race this afternoon for you.
Yeah, tons of fun. I really thought I was really pushing the car at the beginning. I was surprised that I didn't fall off more than most people. So I just kept looking in my rearview mirror a little bit and breathed a little bit of a sigh of relief when I started seeing some people fall back. That was a good feeling, but great race, a lot of fun.
It was a wild show, of course, this afternoon. You mentioned, of course, you had a lot of fun this afternoon, but was that hampered at all whenever lap traffic came about your way, or was that where you were kind of holding your breath a little bit?
Yeah, I was holding my breath, crossing my fingers, toes, everything. It's my first race at Bristol all week, so I hadn't had to deal with the lap traffic, so I just had to keep reminding myself, be patient, be patient. I had like a 1 or 2 second lead that kept evaporating, but I had enough buffer to where I could keep being patient and just kind of wait it out.
You've gotten 2 wins so far on the season. This will make it number 3. Are we going to be looking for win number 4 next week at Kansas?
I love Kansas, so that's probably going to be a lot of tire strategy. Every one of these races seems to be fuel strategy, which really puts an element of fun in it. So I'll just try to qualify again well and hold some track position because it can get super hard to pass. And I do think tire wear is going to be a lot more critical next week. So just try to manage that and not fall too far back, and hopefully be able to make some passes in the long run.
We'll wish you the best of luck. Congratulations on win number 3 this afternoon from Bristol.
Thanks, Nolan. Great broadcast. Have a good one.
Bobby Anderson takes home win number 3 of the season. We're going to bring up Sean Bounty, the driver that was looking to mount a serious charge for the race lead for a while. And, Sean, it ended up being a battle for a second, but it was a battle that went right down to the wire there, especially with a lot of lap traffic in the way in their own battles. Talk us through the night.
Oh, absolutely. That was just a lot of fun. Man, I had no laps on this track, and I got a jerry rig set up because I'm on vacation right now. But it was a lot of fun. I had no idea when the tires were going to fall off. The first run was interesting. I don't have points pull in this series because I started so far deep into their season. So a few strategy plays just to see what would happen. I stayed out really long in the first stint, knowing that we'd still have to pit again for fuel. So in the second stint, I had the freshest tires, came back up to the top, and Anderson was just really great saving. I kept trying to keep up with him, and at a certain point, as you saw, eventually I faded and was just a battle for second, third, and Ethan gave me a run for his money, and that lap traffic was just really scary. You didn't know which guy was going to move to the bottom or the top, and you had to pick it out. And for him, it was just just watching what I did, and he could be conservative coming to me because I had to be the one to move traffic out of the way. But all in all, it was just a really fun, exciting race. 200 laps here and just a few cautions, so kudos.
Of course, next week we swing out to Kansas. It's often regarded as one of the most treacherous mile-and-a-half races because of the nature of that track, of how high speed it is. And, of course, much like Bristol, the outside line going to be a dominant line that afternoon as well. What's in store for this car next week for 100 laps?
Well, I'm going to have to see what this new build provides us. Cars seem to handle a lot better for me than what I felt like that I was accustomed to the last time I came to Bristol. So the car feels great, but Kansas is one of my favorite tracks. So we'll see how it goes, but that's usually a track I circle when I get excited. Whether I'm the fastest guy there or not, I have fun racing that track, so we'll see how it goes.
Wish you best of luck then next week, as we'll say congratulations on the number 2 spot in a hard-fought battle at Bristol.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week.
Sean Bounty out of North Hills comes home with the number 3 spot this afternoon, number 2 spot this afternoon. We'll move on down to the driver that finishes number 3 this afternoon. It is Ethan Amberg, and Ethan, we talked to you earlier on when you were sitting just inside the top 5, and when you managed to double that one up and go to a podium finish. 12 spots gained, the second most of the day. Talk us through what was a hard-fought afternoon for you.
Well, the Highline Motorsports Ghost I Create Coffee Racer Ford was really, really quick today. We had talked 20 minutes ago, and I said the long run would be beneficial, and it ended up playing out for us. So I'll take that as they come, and we'll see what the next ones have in store. But it was a lot of fun racing with Sean there at the end. Robert was just in a league of his own there. I don't think any of us were going to get him.
You mentioned that you were in an extremely difficult fight there, in particular with Sean Bounty in the closing laps, and you almost got him with some lap traffic there. You have another 3 or 5 on the boards. Do you think you can make a run for second there?
It was really going to heavily depend on where that traffic went. Some guys were going high, some guys were going low, some were a bit indecisive and took the center. So it was definitely, I think, a bit of a guessing game sometimes for Sean, which played into my hands pretty big. But I was doing everything I could to get a run on him, but he did a great job to cover. If we had a couple more laps, you never know what might happen, but it was a good time.
Next week is Kansas. 2 races left to go on the regular series season. What's in store for you over the next 2 weeks?
Kansas is a fun track. I've never done a cup race there before, but classic mile and a half. It'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait to go to another road course. Montreal, I think, is the last race on the regular season schedule here, so I look forward to that. Come from a road course background, so those always tend to be a lot of fun.
Well, we will wish you the best of luck when we go racing then 1 week from now. Congratulations once again on taking number 3. So close, who knows? Second place or even a win could be on the cards next week. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Nolan. So close yet so far.
Ethan Amberg still walking away with good points this afternoon for the driver to Dublin, Ohio, and that is going to take us to a close on tonight's show. But my goodness, I mean, what an absolutely wild race that we had here this afternoon. And there's a lot more action coming up as well on Greenfly TV. On Saturday, we're going to be seeing the VSCA Sports Car Championship swinging on out to none other than Homestead Miami Speedway for the Miami Sunrise 6 Hour. And then on Sunday, the Classic IndyCar Series swings on out to Road America over in Wisconsin for one of the last road course races of the championship. Of course, one more Fuji after that. And then on Monday, the High Tide Race League MF Race Designs Cup Series returns from none other than the Richmond Raceway, the action track itself, coming on up on Monday night. So a lot of action in store for us on Greenfly TV. If you want to find more about who we are and what we can offer you, you can check us out today at www.greenflytv.com. As always, a big thank you to all of the sponsors that helped keep this series alive on Greenfly TV. And of course, a big thanks to all of you guys for watching along at home as well. Boy, it was a wild ride this afternoon, and it is going to be even more crazy when we go racing 1 week from now at Kansas. We'll see you then in the prairies.